right, legends. Love this song. Love this song. Just hypes you up. Just hypes you up. Really love this song. And for the pro members, you got the playlist. I shared the playlist for the music that plays here in the background with the Legends Pro community. So hope you all are enjoying the music while you trade. Okay. Remember to smash up that like button. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, because this is where we do pure technical analysis without bias. Okay. Looking at structures, looking at Elliott wave theory, looking at trend lines, looking at volume, looking at harmonic patterns, okay, and the list goes on. I just want to make sure that I'm here in the middle, guys, because I did tinker with my equipment this morning. Okay, there we go. That's better. I'm nicely here in the middle. Okay, there we go. Right, legends, let's get the party on the road. Let's do a little bit of technical analysis. But before I start, let's just quickly just say hi to everyone here, because I know it's the die-hard fans that watch the live stream. I've already done a private live stream with the Legends Pro community for an hour this morning, and one of the levels got hit for a long to the upside. Beautiful. You know, sometimes you just get those nice trading weeks or a nice trading week. Okay, and so far the trades has been absolutely amazing. And Mr. TM Dewald, the market maker, is back. Best trader on YouTube. I'm not sure if I'm a market maker yet. Right, I'm not sure. Okay, Master Dewald, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, there we go. Okay, good day. Welcome, Nico. Yes, thanks, Dewald. Alec, welcome to the live stream. Mr. Phantom. Yes, Dewald, this is going to be the best stream. Well, I'm not sure about the best stream, but I will just do my best to provide the technical analysis here on the price of Bitcoin. Such a hype intro. Yes, I really love that song. I really love that song. And I mean, all this music that's playing here in the background is produced by my brother. So it's original songs. And the reason my brother makes these songs for me so that I don't get copyright strikes when I publish my YouTube videos, because I did have some normal playlists in the background and then YouTube deletes my videos because there's copyright on those songs. Okay, now I don't have that issue anymore. Right. Hey, Dewald, Bosch Dewald, welcome to the live stream. Dewald, the guy's a pro, a genius, a real market whisperer. I appreciate the kind words. Much love, brother. Hi, legends. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. I see the mods here in the house. I appreciate all the support. Joseph, hi, Dewald. Ozrin, hello, hello, hello. Okay, and the list goes on. I see the comments are absolutely streaming in at the moment. Hi, Dewald, finally with nice hair and shirt on. Yes, this morning when I did the Legends Pro community, okay, I was not in a camera state. So what I do is when I go live with the Legends Pro community, okay, I switch my camera off. Okay, so this is all you see when I go live with the Legends Pro community. That's all you see. You see the chart and you hear my voice. But when I go live on YouTube, people love to see my sexy face. Okay, right. What is the difference from Pro, Starter Plan, Anti VIP? Well, the difference with the Pro is that you have access to 3 coaches, including myself, Andy, and Dylan, which does more altcoin, myself and Andy focusing on ETH and Bitcoin. And you also get additional content inside of the Legends Pro community. You get research material that gets dropped. You get fundamental analysis. You get altcoin trades. You get a more detailed analysis, especially from myself and Andy, where on the VIP section, when you join the VIP sections, you get, you know, the larger time frame analysis, maybe a swing trade. So you get way more on the pro community. That's basically what it comes down to. Okay, so, and also, I'm not sure if I think I was, oh, here we go. Right, I wasn't sure which channel was, but if you want to join our Legends Pro community, link down in the description. Okay, that's where people get special treatment, I suppose. Okay, a bit more access to myself and Andy. You can also ask questions, which we answer. When people tag me and they ask me a question, I try my best to answer those questions. If it's a time-sensitive question, sometimes I don't get to it because people just want to know, Dewald, or should we play the breakout, whatever the case might be. And sometimes I do miss those ones, and but most of the time, I'm there. I'm there like a bear. I really love the community. Having conversations, absolutely amazing. Okay, now let's do a little bit of technical analysis. I also like to go through previous trades that we've taken so that you can learn how we took these trades together. Okay, especially from a community perspective. At the moment, okay, I am in a long position. Got stopped out of another long, okay, because this was the trade I shared this morning. Okay, I got in here in a long. And then I highlighted this level and I told the legends, if we come back down, okay, I'm looking for a level here for another trading opportunity. And that level got hit to perfection. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, because you have your multiple 1 2 1 2. I'm not going to count the structure in detail, guys. Smaller time frame. I like to focus on 15-minute and 1 hour time frames. Okay, but if you dive into the smaller time frames, you will see that there's a grind here to the downside. You have the big fall with volume. That's what you like to see. And now you have the choppiness here at the bottom. So, it looks like the structure could start reversing back to the upside. So I attempted my first long over here, where we also had a naked point of control, which I now deleted because it got disrespected. It got the bounce and we broke down. So I deleted that naked point of control. And then this was the second level that I highlighted. Told the legends we're either going to swing these lows, okay, or we're going to get to this naked point of control where I will be paying attention. Okay, paying attention. So currently in this long position at the moment on Bluffin, link down in the description. Okay, if you want the best deals that Bluffin has to offer. I want to open up a trade here on BTCC, guys, and I'm considering maybe trading gold, because for those of you that do not know, on BTCC, okay, I think it's the second link here down in the description. On BTCC, you can trade commodities using USDT. Okay, so if you search here, Meta, okay, you can trade Facebook. You can trade, I think, silver. Yeah, it's got silver. There's silver. And you can trade gold. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of analysis behind the scenes on gold, because I think there's some good opportunities and shorting opportunities here on the price of gold. So you can do commodity trading using your stable coins to trade commodities here on BTCC. Okay. Right, so I've got some cash here in the exchange. So looking for my next trading opportunity on BTCC. If you'd like to trade on BTCC, second link down in the description. And all you need is an email and a password to start trading. Okay. So now, there's a couple of things I want to go through, guys. So, please do not FOMO into trades. First of all, please do not FOMO into trades. Okay, Dewald entered along, so I'm also going to just FOMO here into a trade. And then whatever does that. Okay, I'm already in position protected. So if I get stopped out, I don't lose any cash, guys. I am not a better trader than most people because I have better technical analysis. No. The reason I consider myself a profitable trader is because I know how to protect my cash. Better than most. Not because my technical analysis is better, but I know how to look after my stop losses, my cash. My goal as a trader is to protect my cash and to know where to take profits. Okay, it's not because of my technical analysis, because I think a lot of people think that you need to have the best technical analysis under the moon and then that makes you a successful trader. No, you can have the best technical analysis under the moon. If you do not know how to protect your capital, you will still get wrecked time and time again. Okay, anyways, let's go through a couple of scenarios. So for the Legends Pros, or the pro community, I'm basically going to do a little bit of a repeat that I've already spoken about this morning. And okay, and maybe a couple of other things as well. So let's first go here onto the 8-hour time frame. Okay, or maybe, let's start all the way out. Let's start here on the daily time frame. Okay, just want to take that time fib out the way. I'm going to talk about that white line in a moment. Okay, on the daily time frame, let's just do a little bit of a summary. The probabilities from a daily and a weekly perspective are still high, that regardless of how deep the correction goes to take out this high. From a probability perspective, there is still a higher chance that we take out the high before we start a bear market. Okay. One of the reasons is we ended the structure with a 3-wave up. 1, 2, 3. It's very rare to end a structure, okay, with a 3-wave move to the upside, unless it's an ending diagonal. So let me find the ending diagonal and show everyone what I mean. Okay, there we go. This ending diagonal on my chart, you can see, also has a minimum target of $139,088. Okay, the probabilities for this ending diagonal to be finished is kind of low at the moment, and there's also a big reason why I do not like an ending diagonal to end the bull market over here. There's a problem inside of this structure, because in an ending diagonal, all structures has to be 3-wave structures, ABCs, WXYs, complex corrective structures. And the biggest problem that I see inside of this structure to end in an ending diagonal is this. Okay, because this structure counts way better as a nested 1-2 impulsive structure to the upside, where you basically formed your 1-2, 1-2, okay, maybe another 1-2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, it counts way better as an impulsive structure than a 3-wave structure. So that for me is the biggest issue with an ending diagonal. Okay, one could argue that this 3rd wave can be counted as a 3-wave structure. 1, 2, 3. Okay, right? 1, 2, 3 to the downside, 1, 2, 3 to the... So the corrective structures is not the issue. It's the impulsive structures that's the issue. So to finish off the 5th wave, you want to end it in a 3-wave structure, which we got. We already got a 3-wave structure. And for the minimum requirement for that little 5th wave is to take the high of 3, which it did in a 3-wave structure. But this is your problem. Okay, so I cannot give this scenario the highest probability that we've ended the 5th wave over here and now we're going to start a bear market to the downside. Okay, but also, okay, let's talk about the bear market. Let's just say the top is in. Okay, number 5 is in, and we have finished the bull market. Let's just say that for argument's sake. What you want to see is a 5-wave structure to the downside. Guys, I just want to change something here. I want to just put the music a little bit softer. Okay. So let's play what if scenario over here. So let's say the bull market has come to an end. Okay, we formed a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 in an ending diagonal, of which all structures has to be 3-wave structures. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Done. Okay, so for the bear market to continue to the downside, okay, let's go to the 12-hour time frame. You need to see a 5-wave structure to the downside. And for now, at the moment, on the Binance, on the Bybit, on most perpetual charts, okay, we do not have a 5-wave structure to the downside. Okay, we have a 3-wave structure. 1, 2, 3. Okay, if we took the low, I would say, okay, now we have a 5-wave structure. Or if it comes back down, now we can say, okay, now we have a 5-wave structure. But for now, based on the current price action, we have a 3-wave structure. You cannot start in emotive waves to the downside like such. Okay, low probability. So if price does not claim this high and we roll down and make another low, that's where I'm going to say, okay, now we have a 5-wave structure to the downside. This is where things now becomes a little bit dangerous, Because after a 5-wave structure to the downside, you get a 3-wave structure up, retracement. That's where you exit your positions, okay? Because you could go down for a 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so if we are going to start a bear market to the downside, you need to form a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you need to form a 3-wave corrective structure to the upside. 1, 2, 3. If it's going to do this, a 4 and a 5, it's over for the bears. It's over. Okay, but if it doesn't do the 4 and the 5, and it ends like that, well, ladies and gentlemen, okay, that is where I'm out. Okay, well, I'm going to start seriously thinking about de-risking my positions, because what happens next can be absolutely devastating, because this becomes 1, this becomes 2, and you can go down in a 3, 4, 5. Okay, easily to $50,000. So this essentially needs to form your first wave to the downside so that you can get 1 and your 2, so you can get the third crash to the downside in a number 3. Okay, so if I look at this entire structure, I just want to get the okay, let's go back to the daily over here. Okay, so I mean, guys, even a bear market provides opportunities. So if this is the top, you know, guys, we're just playing a what if scenario, because I know there's a lot of bears out there. Okay, you will take your fib from the low to the high that we've created. Well, then you have some interesting areas of support. You have a massive consolidation area here in confluence with the 0.382. You have consolidation at the 0.5. When you have 5 waves to the upside, you want to have a 3-wave corrective structure to the downside. That, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the bear market. Okay, which provides an opportunity for continuation back to the upside, because once you have a 1 and you have a 2, you expect a massive explosion in a 3rd wave to the upside that could easily take us to $500,000, maybe $1 million, because 3rd waves are very explosive. So this little bull market that we've seen, if this is the end, okay, I'm talking for those of you that are joining the stream right now, I'm saying if this is the end, there's still massive opportunity. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside, you form a 3-wave corrective structure, you form a higher low, and you continue back to the upside. Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you now, okay, great opportunity, okay, even if it's a bear market, I don't care, it's a great opportunity, okay, because you will see, let me just zoom out even a little bit more, let me go to the Coinbase chart, I think it has more information. Let's do this. Take this out. Okay. Let's go to the weekly time frame. It's just going to be easier. Okay. If you zoom in, guys, you can see. Okay. Bull market, bear market, bull market, bear market, bull market, bear market. Okay. Every time, higher, low, higher, low. Bull market, bear market, bull market, bear market, big bear market over here. But now again, okay, we're on a bull market, bear market, okay. Every time, higher, low, bull market, bear market, higher, low, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3-wave corrective structure, continuation. So I will be looking for the same thing. Bull market, bear market, continuation to the upside. Right. Let's go back to my Binance chart, because that's where I have all my scenarios painted out. So all I was trying to demonstrate over here, guys, is if all hell is going to break loose, okay, and we are in fact going into a bear market, first thing that I would like to see is another wave to the downside to complete a 5-wave structure. Once we move up here, now that's going to be very important to analyze. Is it a 3-wave up or is it a 5-wave up? If it's a 5-wave up, well, then you can expect continuation back to the upside. If it's going to be a 3-wave here to the upside, well, that's dangerous, because it could either be an ABC or it could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here to the downside. Okay, for now, the probabilities are higher that we claim the high again. So I just had to play out the what if scenario, because I know there's a lot of bears and people sending me comments saying that, Dewald, how dare you only talk about bullish case scenarios? How dare you? I'm just saying, from a technical perspective, it makes more sense technically to make at least one more high. Okay, at my minimum target. And guys, that is a minimum target. Okay, minimum $139,000. Okay, so if I go back here onto the 12-hour time frame, and we look at this last structure here to the upside, this little structure, okay, then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that makes better sense. Contracting diagonal, and this is all part of the corrective structure A, B, C. Okay, C wave could be done, maybe not done, maybe one more low. We're going to analyze this local structure in a moment. Okay, after which you still expect the high to be claimed at least once more. I do have super uber bullish scenarios. I do have them, guys, and I'm not going to share them just as yet. For now, you know, let's keep our feet on the ground. Let's just stay grounded and realistic. Based on the structure that we have here at the moment, I at least still expect the high to be claimed once again. If price wants to fly, you know, I will start ripping out the super bullish scenarios, because there are insane bullish case scenarios that could take us to $210,000, $300,000. Okay, but for now, the probabilities are higher that we are still going to at least claim the high once more and potentially hit that $139,000 mark. Okay. So not much more to be said over here. I don't want to spend too much time here on the larger time frame, but for now, you know, this could be still part of a larger corrective structure. Okay, you have your 3-wave structure up in a B. Now that makes way more sense, in a 3-wave structure in a B. And now you have your dump on high volume, which is characteristic of a C wave. Okay, and after you have an ABC, the worst thing that can happen over here after you have an ABC is that you form a W. Okay, and then you form a X, and then you form another Y wave to the downside. Okay, so the correction can still extend as long as you do not take this low. Market structure is intact. Whether it ends over here and we go up, or whether we get a larger corrective structure in a W, X, Y, okay, as long as you do not take this low, bull market is intact. So from a structural perspective, without even going into Elliott wave theory, as long as price does not take this low, regardless of what it does over here, market structure is still intact, and we can still expect momentum to the upside to go and take this high. Okay, if we take the low, well, now that's going to be disastrous for the price of Bitcoin, because now you're starting to change market on the higher time frame. You're starting to change market structure. Okay, right. So the price of Bitcoin still has a lot of room. Okay, also from a target perspective, okay, let's zoom in onto the 4-hour time frame. Okay, can you guys see I'm getting closer to the smaller time frames, because I know you all just want smaller time frame analysis. I'm getting there. Okay, is that when you have A and you have a B and you have a C to the downside, okay, we do have targets to the downside. So all I want to show over here is that if price, for some reason, Donald Trump posts something stupid again, okay, and price falls here to the downside while we still have targets, okay, where we could get that bounce. So we already, depending on which chart you use, okay, but this entire zone here, okay, is where you want to see the bounce happen. It's the most common C wave targets, and you can see how we tap these levels, okay, 1.382, massive pump back to the upside. Then we came back down, we tapped the 1.236, bounce back to the upside. So if things just gets really nasty and price starts to fall here to the downside, pay attention to the 1.618. Okay, it's fine, you know, guys. It's most likely not just going to tap it and go. Okay, it's most likely going to consolidate and scare the crap out of everyone. It's most probably going to do this. Okay, it consolidates, double bottom, triple bottom, and then it starts finding upwards momentum. Then market makers are not going to make it easy to get into this level, but as long as you hold it and you consolidate at the level, that's where I'm going to be analyzing the structures. Okay, but anyways, we still have support, and these are all still very common C wave targets. Okay, I have seen C wave targets hit the 2 extension as well. And guess what? Even if the C wave target hits the 2.618, okay, which is a rare C wave target, even if it hits the 2.618, which would be extremely rare, by the way, okay, you still have a higher low. Market structure is still intact. I do not think price will get there, but if it does, okay, the most important thing that I will keep in mind as a technical trader is whatever happens over here, as long as price forms a higher low, there's always a higher chance to take out the high. Always. Okay, we can start talking about bear markets once we claim this low. But for now, price is still very high over here. It's still very, very high. Right. So I must say, guys, I do like this consolidation area, because there's a lot of people watching the $100,000 zone. There's a lot of people watching this zone. So either price front runs, okay, or it scares the crap out of these people that have all their limit orders, 100x, 50x limit orders stacked up here. Price dips into that pool, and it just keeps on falling. It liquidates all of these positions, okay, and then inside of this little consolidation to extension, maybe that's where you find support and you get the bounce back to the upside. So I do expect two things to happen. Well, one of two things to happen is we either front run the zone completely and we leave all of these traders behind, or we scare the crap out of them and maybe we come to the 2 extension. Because I can tell you now, once we hit $91,500, everyone is going to be talking about a bear market. Everyone. Not realizing, okay, which is quite obvious, that market structure is still intact. And you could have a larger C wave and you get momentum back to the upside. Right, now let's go on to the 1 hour time frame. Okay, take this out the way. I guess we can even now go on to the 15-minute time frame, because now I want to analyze the smaller time frames over here. Okay, so there's been a couple of trading scenarios. The first trade that one of the trades that we got into was a fib from the high to this low to the high. Okay, this was one of the long trades that we got into, 1.618. Beautiful swing failure pattern. I closed my position at these highs. I think this is where I closed my entire position. I took profits to the upside and I closed my position here. Happy days. It's a successful trade. I don't care if people are laughing at me like, ha ha ha, look at how much higher price went. I don't care, guys. I planned my trade. This is where I planned to close my trade, and I did. So nice little momentum there to the upside. Okay. Second trade that we took, that was successful, is one that actually I got stopped out of, because I'll explain to you guys now, is that I was looking at this here to the upside. Okay. This is a short, and I was here on the live stream and I said, I'm in the short. And if we get a double top, I will re-enter. Okay, because my position was protected. So silly little me were on the Binance chart. I did not look at the other charts because all other charts, or most of the other charts on Bybit and on Coinbase, created a higher high. But on Binance, the one that I am trading, we created a double top. Okay, did not take the high. We did not take the high again. So I got stopped out. I was staring at the chart waiting for that. And I didn't get that. I was just like, no, that's a double top. No, I'm not going to enter. Okay. And I also didn't have the confidence because this little retracement did not fit my trading rules. So I did not enter a short over here. So I was in the short. I did take profits here to the downside, protected my position and got stopped out and missed the entire move to the downside because there was no higher high. I wanted to see a grab of the liquidity and then you fall to the downside. So because I didn't see what I wanted, I missed the trade. But I saw some of the legends did get into the trade because depending on which chart you analyze, it actually made a nice little higher high over there and it fell down. So nice little swing failure pattern. I cannot get into a trade if it doesn't fit my criteria and my rules. So I missed, okay, got stopped out and missed the momentum to the downside. And like I told the Legends Pro community this morning is I don't care because I know there's always another trade around the corner. So missed the momentum to the downside and then also missed the pump to the upside because I was busy with other things. I could not really trade on Tuesday, which was yesterday, I think. Okay, because I knew I was just looking at the structure as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was waiting for that. I was waiting to get into that trade and I missed it. And after I missed it, I analyzed this structure. And I was like, well, what happened here? Just from a curiosity perspective, what happened here? Why did we turn around without the fifth wave? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we formed a 3-wave structure and we went back up. Okay, it's because of that. So if I go into, guys, and this is now where you do smaller time frame analysis, I'm going to go on to the 1 minute, but I'm going to show you what happened there. Okay, so on the 1 minute time frame, let's go back. Where was it now? You see how you get lost on the smaller time frame, guys? Yeah, here we go. Right. TradingView really needs to design something that when you're on the larger time frame, you want to zoom into the smaller time frames, you don't lose your spot. I mean, TradingView, if any one of you work there, that would be an amazing enhancement because often you want to go back to 2021 price action. You're on the daily time frame. You want to zoom into the smaller candles and you can't. Okay, you just lose your spot completely. Okay, so what happened here? Whoops, what did I do? Click here on the wrong button. So what happened here, just to show you guys probabilities, and the reason I'm discussing this is because there's something similar happening where price is at the moment. So this is why I'm hammering on this structure. What happened here is you have a 1 wave down and you have a corrective structure up. Okay, you can label that 1, 2, okay. Then what happened is you have another move down and a structure up. But now this little pivot went into this territory. So in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, it's not allowed to go into the territory in an impulse, which it did. So now you have to consider diagonals. So you take a diagonal from number 1, connect it, and you take it from number 2, you connect it, but you have an expanding structure. Okay, so this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very rare, never preferred unless all other scenarios fail. So this movement down, okay, has a very low probability in being a 5-wave structure. And you can only get a 4-5 at the end. So let me zoom in here. You can only get a 4 and a 5 at the end if this is a 5-wave structure. Because it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to count 5 waves, 5 waves, 5 waves. And there's your problem. This is why price stopped and did not create the fifth wave that we were waiting for, because of this. It's an expanding structure. Extremely rare. Guys, they have like a 1% of playing out. An expanding structure has a 1% of playing out, if not less. Okay, so you have to label this structure an A. Okay, you have an A wave, you have a B wave, and then you created a C to the downside. So it's a 3-wave structure. Hence, it stopped and it turned around and went back to the upside. If I go back here onto the 5-minute, okay, I'm just showing you guys here on the smaller time frame some clues that you can look for. Okay, let's just take out the mess. Also, what you could have done is you could have had your fib from these pivots to the lows, and as soon as you tap, okay, because now you're looking at the structure as a 1, 2, 3. As soon as you tap the 0.618, fourth wave is out the window. You're most likely going to claim the highs, which price did, by the way. Okay, we can all see that. So now, the reason I discuss that structure is because I see a lot of people are now looking at this. Let me grab my numbers here. They're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then you take your trend, you connect number 1 with 3 and 5. Beautiful rejection, by the way, from the trend over there. Okay, and you connect your number 2 with number 4. Okay, so here's now your problem, guys. You do not have a clean impulsive wave to the upside to give you a high probability that this low is protected. You have an expanding structure like you had. Where was that? Over there. Okay, like you had over there. Low probability. So yes, I can see that you have an expanding structure to the upside. Low probability. So I cannot give this structure the highest probability that the low is in. We have 5 waves up in expanding trumpet. Okay, and now we are just going to correct and off to Valhalla. I cannot give the structure the highest probability. It's okay. Then, you know, often then you would say, okay, well, now we need to look at nested 1-2s. Well, the nested 1-2s got invalidated. You have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 that took the low. Okay, so that goes out the window. You do not have an impulsive structure. So the only bullish structure that is left is a structure that has the lowest probability of playing out. So it still has a probability, it's just very low. Okay. So if we have to entertain the scenario, you will then take your fib from the low to the high, okay, and then the bulls needs to defend the 786. So make no mistake, by the way, look at that beautiful bounce on the 7 Fibonacci. If you do not have this level on your Fibonacci, I highly recommend that you include that level, because I often see when price loses the 618, it bounces on the 7 Fibonacci. So quite a nice level to have on your chart. Right, so for the bulls, you need to defend the 786, because if you're going to tap the 0.88, you increase the probabilities of taking the low. So in saying this, this structure to the upside for me looks way more corrective than impulsive, which means that the probabilities for now, based on the current price action that I see, is that we are still going to take out the lows again. Okay, unless new price action develops, and then I can make different probabilities. But for now, based on this structure, this can be counted as an A, B, C. So maybe that's a W. Then you have an X, and now you have, anyways, or this is a 1, 2, 3. You have an A, you have a B because you have a 3-wave structure down. So that can be your B. You have a C here to the upside, beautiful, high amount of volume. So basically you have an A, B, C. Higher chance that this is corrective than impulsive, which means that the probabilities are still higher that we're going to take out this low. Okay, unless we can tap the 0.618, then probabilities will start to shift. So when I take a fib from this pivot to the low, guys, I'm ignoring this week, okay, because we don't have that week on all exchanges. Okay, so if price by some miracle bounces here and it taps the 0.618, well, now you're starting to give higher probabilities to the bulls, because I'm still looking at the structure as a 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, and it's tapped the 0.5 to perfection where it got the rejection last night. Also a short that I took. I will talk about that short as well. Okay, so for now, the probabilities are still higher to move down. Unless something else starts developing over here, that's going to change my mind. But for now, based on the current price action, the probabilities are still higher to take out the low. Okay. Right. Now, let's go. I'm already on the 15-minute time frame. Last night, okay, because I was busy with other things yesterday, when I saw price pumping here to the upside like a crazy maniac, like a rocket, okay, there was two shorting zones that I highlighted to the Legends Pro community. I took a fib from the low to the high to the low, and I said, well, there's two areas that I am interested in a short. Okay, first area I was interested in is the 0.618, and then a little bit further up I'm interested to short the 786. So I entered a short over there, got stopped out because on the smaller time frame there was a nice little reaction. Okay, so my first attempt was over here. Just take the brushes out. I just want to make sure that everyone can see that candle. Okay, this was my first attempt. I don't have the fib drawn perfectly at the moment, but it did actually tap the line. This is where I entered. I entered most probably around about this zone. Okay, price moved down. I didn't protect my stop loss was here above the week, but you guys can see there's a tiny stop loss. Okay, and I got stopped out. And as price retraced, okay, there was bullish CVD building up between those two pivots. And I said, okay, I'm not going to try and attempt it again. As soon as price rejected, there was bullish CVD, and I said, okay, I'm leaving it alone now. Got stopped out. And then the level to the upside got a beautiful rejection. I mean, beautiful. Stop goes above the high. Price fell to the downside. Inside of this order block, you start taking profits. The rest is history. Okay. So I did manage to jump into the short because that was the only two levels that I highlighted last night. Okay, I told the legends, I know it looks bullish. It looks like it just wants to continue here to the upside. Just pay attention. Let's see what happens here. That was also the 50% Fibonacci. Okay, this was also the value area low of the previous range. Okay, there was a lot of confluence going here, but there was also a naked point of control at the 0.618, and this is why I considered that area. Got stopped out, but got in here, took some profits on the way down, and took more profits over here, already 80% in profits. And then now that we got this wick to the downside, when I saw this wick to the downside, I entered the long, I closed my short. So I'm now out of this short and I closed it at this naked point of control. There we go. Closed it. It's done. Finito. Okay, now I'm in a long position. So like I said, guys, I think I already discussed it. I had my first long attempt, got stopped out. Now I have my second long attempt. As soon as we claimed this high, that was TP1 for me. Position is protected. Okay, it's either going to give us a little bit of a correction here to the upside and then maybe continue. We'll see. But what I would like to see, okay, is when you take a fib from the high to the low of the structure, it would be very strange, just a game of probabilities. Like this is an impulsive structure. It counts very beautifully as an impulsive structure to the downside. And usually when you have an impulsive structure to the downside, you at least expect a larger correction to the upside. And then we can continue. So I am just looking to take advantage of this move. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not going to wait for the highs to be claimed. I can tell you guys now, as soon as we start hitting these Fibonacci levels, 382, 50%, I will DCA myself out of that long position because I know the probabilities are higher to roll back down. If it wants to continue, so be it. It's a success. For me, it's a successful trade. I will look for a next trading opportunity. Okay, so this morning in the Legends Pro community, Okay, the highest probability trade was to look for longs. After the massive drop to the downside, I had my first attempt, got stopped out at break even. Okay, and now I'm in my second attempt, already took profits at the highs. Position protected, so if price wants to just crash, let it go. It's fine. I'll look for, okay, still have another point of control. We still have levels to the downside that I will be keeping an eye on. But for now, it looks like price could form a larger at least a larger three-wave structure here to the upside. If it does a 4 and a 5, well, then I'm going to be interested in longs again. Okay. So, I mean, the price has to develop for me to have a plan. Okay. Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to discuss. I think I've gone through as much as I can. Higher time frame, zooming in, discussing the trades that we've taken. I hope you've, learned something. And remember to smash up that like button. Let me go through some comments. Dewald, I'm still in the short. You think I should hold? TM, well, I can just share with you what I've done. Okay, I closed my short over here. So what you could do, please don't click any buttons right now, right? Because what could happen is that you form a three-wave up and you continue the momentum to the downside. So the best advice that I can give you is make sure that you've taken some profits, because what if it forms a 4 and a 5? Well, you still expect a retracement where you can then close your short, okay? And then continuation to the upside. But for now, the probabilities are leaning higher that we could form a three-wave structure and you could still benefit from the momentum to the downside. So what I have done is, because I'm a day trader, I like to get in and out. I don't like to hold on to positions for too long, unless it's a swing position. Okay, so I shorted. I took profits over here, TP1. I took more profits in this zone, TP2, 80%. I was out 80% of my position. And then I closed the last 20% when I took the long. As soon as I took the long over here, okay, I exited my short and now I'm in a long. So I can only share with you what I can do, what I am doing. Okay. Right. Thanks for updating me, Dewald. Absolute pleasure, Nico. Dewald, when you say position is protected, what is mean? Where's SL? Let me show you. Let me show you, guys. Let me show you. So let's open up. Okay, I'm on BTCC. For those of you that want to trade commodities, you want the best deals that BTCC has to offer, the link is down in the description. Second link here down in the description. Okay, all you need is an email and a password. So let me show you. If I open up a position, so let's just open up a market order. Let me just refresh and make sure that everything's working the way it should. I like to refresh my exchanges before I place a trade, just to make sure that everything is working. It's just, it's a habit. Okay, I like to do that. Okay, so here on the price of Bitcoin, let's open up a, what is my leverage? 20x leverage. Let's open up a 10% position. Okay, let's just open up a long. So when I'm in a trade, okay, you guys do know about these little features. Okay, I can quickly say, there's my SL and I plan to take profits maybe over there. Okay, so you can quickly draw your lines up and down, because some people have asked me in the past, Dewald, how do you manage to open up a trade on 3 different exchanges? Well, that's how I do it. Okay, it took me less than a second, 2 seconds to get into this trade. Okay, because I've already planned my trade. I know where I need to take profits. I know where my stop loss needs to be. Okay, so it's easy for me just to drag the things up and down. Right, I don't have to go and type, yeah, on the side, this is the price of my TP. No, you just drag the lines. I know exactly where it needs to be. Okay, so when I protect position, I take my SL. Can you guys see this? Yes, I take my SL, okay, and I put it on my entry price. That is how I protect position, or even above. So if I get stopped out, I get stopped out with profits. So when I say in my live streams, I protect position, it means that my SL is at my entry price. So if I get stopped out, I lose nothing except for the fees if I didn't take profits. That's what I mean. Okay. So I'm just going to close this trade. I don't want to take this trade right now. That is basically what I mean when I say I protect position. I've taken 50% off the table from the short and stop loss is in profits. Great, Jack. I mean, that's the way to trade, right? A free trade. There's nothing better than a free trade. Nothing better. Okay, this is why I love swing failure patterns. Okay, nothing better than a free trade. Protect position. You can even put your SL in profits. You can put your stop loss in profits. So your entry could be here, like I've just shown you on the exchange. Your entry could be here because you're playing a short. You put your stop loss there. Okay, and if you get stopped out, you get stopped out with profits. That covers your fees. So you don't bleed out your account every time you get stopped out, stopped out, stopped out. This is why, as a trader, I'm always in such a habit of when I enter a trade, my stop above the high, price falls, I take profits. Okay, this profit that I take protects my stop loss as well. Okay, and then I protect position. Okay. Right, legends, that is what I wanted to discuss today. Not much else. Okay, so thanks for joining the live stream. Remember to smash up that like button. Until the next one, cheers for now.